Hey guys! So today's video is going to be very different from what I usually do. I'm going to be trying out long shutter photography for the first time. I'm going to be heading out to DC today, and I'm just going to find some locations that I want to take some photos of. I just want to try some new things on this channel. This is my new project for me, so just bear with me. And I absolutely appreciate the support. So throughout all this, I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks that I have or that I've learned through the process of doing this and how to do these types of photos. I'm not a professional photographer. I really do this as a hobby, and I'm just trying to build my skill set. Very first tip that I have is to do your research. So there are plenty of online resources and there are plenty of photos that you can reference. If you just Google long shutter photography, you will find buttloads of information that you can use to create the kind of photos that you want to create. Part of that research can also include doing test photos. So I took a couple test images last night and I just went through and sort of tried to do some quick edits and see what I could do. So for this particular project, I'll be using my Canon Rebel T5. It's a very simple DSLR camera. I'll also be using my 75 to 300 and 18 to 55 millimeter lenses. So right now it is probably about 12:30. It is a Tuesday and I have class. So I had structures this morning and I had my LGBT class in the afternoon, and then I'll be heading out around 3:30ish. So my second tip for this whole process would be to know the places where you want to go. So I planned on going to Forever 21, the Starbucks on DuPont Circle, and also just taking a trip to Shaw. So the first place that I went to was Forever 21. I believe it's on L Street. It is a beautiful building. It also shares space with an H&M. I just feel like it's such a stunning exterior. Just a little quick disclaimer, these edits and these photos in general are not that great. I really wanted them to look better, but things don't always go the way you want them to. So the first thing that I did before I actually started editing the photo was to just go through all the photos that I had from that street corner. And then I went in and sort of messed around with them and tried to find out which ones actually lined up with each other. So this gets me to tip number 3. If you don't have a tripod, which I don't, try finding places where you can set your camera on something stable. So I set my camera on top of an electrical box, I believe, and then I just used my actual camera lens to sort of balance out my camera so that I could actually get a straight shot rather than one that was angled downwards. So the method that I used to edit these was essentially taking several images at the same angle and just layering them on top of each other. There are definitely better ways to go about this that involve actually cropping out different elements and then layering, but this was just the easiest way that I saw to do it. I mean, you can use whatever method you want, but this is just how I decided to go about it. I also did go into Forever 21 because if you are near Forever 21, you have to go in. And yes, I tried on clothing. I actually did that. Yeah. Second place that I ended up photographing was the Museum of African American History. I haven't been inside this building, and nor did I even plan on going to it at all. So that brings me to my next tip. Screw the plan. Just do what you want to do, you know? Whatever you're feeling, just go for it. Okay, now I have to go to the next tip too. You can't shoot these photos in really bright sunlight. It's kind of common sense, but I wasn't really thinking about that when I started taking pictures at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon when the sun is beaming down on one side of this building. So I ended up just laying underneath the Washington Monument for like an hour. Then I just went to the other side of the building and took some pictures from there. Same general process of just picking an angle and just sort of taking multiple shots at that one angle and then layering them in order to create a final image. Also forgot to mention that I had to go to the art store
So I took myself all the way to Blick to get some trace paper, and I promptly got lost until I had to ask an employee for help. So yeah, that happened. So after I left Blick, I actually didn't intend on taking any more photos, so at that point it was kind of late and the photos I had already taken didn't look that good. So I was really self-conscious and I just wanted to go home and go to bed. But then, as I was leaving the store, I passed this church and the sunset was behind it, and I decided that I had to absolutely take a photo of this. So I did. I actually really enjoyed editing this one because I finally got the light to do what I wanted it to do, literally for all of these photos. But you can basically see where I was going, what I was going for with the whole stream of light. But I mean, I'm actually really happy with how these turned out. I'm thinking that one of them might actually make my gallery wall. Time will tell, honestly. Before I finish up here, I guess tip number 5, or whatever number we're on at this point. Don't be afraid to be inspired. You know, if you really see something that looks like it's could be an amazing shot, just go for it. I saw this all of a sudden and I put my bags down and I was literally laying in a median full of mulch just to get these pictures. So, you know, seriously, don't hesitate. Just go for it.
So I got back to my apartment about half an hour to 45 minutes ago. I hope this video helped you out a little bit, or at least educated you a little bit on slow shutter photography. If you want to see any of my other artwork, I have a Redbubble. You can also view it on my Tumblr and also on my Reel blog. But again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.